do not know how I will ever repay you, Witcher.
Don't expect to be paid. Hope you're feeling better, that's all.
Oh, yes, I feel my strength returning thanks chiefly to Barnabas Basil's care.
Horrible ordeal you endured. Glad I cut it short.
Yes, years of suffering. You know what was worse than the hunger? Watching my loved ones, my children grow old and die. All my family's long gone now. The last of my kin perished decades past. I fear I've nowhere to go.
This is a big house, big estate. You can stay here.
Truly? I could never infringe so on your hospitality. Yet,
Yeah?
after all I've suffered, the years of starvation, I've but one dream. At last to prepare food that fortifies, nourishes, to delight in the tastes and smells of spices, to sit at one table with others and eat.
Don't see a problem if that's your dream. You could help Barnabas Basil in the kitchen. Eating his meals. You know he's not a culinary virtuoso.
Nothing could make me happier. Thank you.
No, thank you. House could use a woman's touch.
I've one other thing I'd like to tell you. Many years ago, my father assembled valuables for my dowry. I never wed, so they remained unclaimed. These baubles are no use to me now, but to you, well, perhaps let them be a token of my gratitude. If you wish to find them, you must go to my old home, to Trastamara. The dowry lies hidden in a barrel in the cellar. There are several barrels. You must give each a knock until you find the right one.
Do just that. Thanks. I'd never expect someone with your past to feel drawn to the kitchen.
Do you fear I will cook in your home as I brewed as a white?
Counting on you having slightly better taste as a human.
Of that, you can be sure. I loved cooking, even as a child. My gran was a true master in the kitchen. Her spit-roasted ox was famed throughout the land.
Thought you were a lady, owned an estate.
Do you mean to say a woman of my rank should have had a cook? You're right, of course. And I had the best of cooks. But I devised the dishes myself. They only prepared them.
You sure you don't feel lonely out here?
I cannot say yet. Too little time has passed since you freed me of my thrall. But somehow, for now at least, I do not feel drawn to the city, to others.
Visited others' homes as a white.
Yes, but ever at night, when all were asleep, I went in search of spoons.
Remember, you can always change your mind. Decide you've lived here long enough, just say the word.
I'd never wish to seem ungrateful.
And I'd never want you to stay against your will. See you later.
Take care, Witcher. And remember, you always have warm food awaiting your return.
Might want to look around some. Strange. That's awful pretty. It'll look great in the house. I'm walking on water. Just like...
Like who?
like a pond skater. Who are you thinking?
No matter. I suppose you thought nothing else in life could surprise you, eh? Wrong.
Hey, happen to know how the hell I can walk on that water?
Naturally, I know. Since time immemorial have I dwelt in solitude on this shore, and I can testify to the extraordinary nature of the lake.
What's so extraordinary about it? I mean, besides the fact that you can walk on its surface.
A sword, most wondrous, lies in its depths. I watch over it. The blade may be grasped solely by one who possesses the 5 chivalric virtues.
Folk call me a lot of things, but virtuous? I don't know.
Yet I do know. For I know who you are. You have proven yourself capable of great sympathy. You are a man of honor, as many can attest. Of humble means yourself. You show generosity to others. Your valor is the stuff of legends. Reason guides your actions, as it does those of all who are wise. You have proven the 5 chivalric virtues dwell in your heart.
Mean the sword's mine? I can dive in and take it?
The sword deserves the hand of a master. You must prove your skills are worthy through combat atop the water's surface. Are you ready?
Anytime.
Then draw your blade. One of your ilk, a witcher, or combines with an old ghost, eh? You have proven worthy of wielding the blade, beyond all doubt.
Behold, your Arendite.
We've met before.
Certainly. The hermit admitted he knew you, remember?
The Lady of the Lake.
It is I. Forget not that you are a man right and honorable, devoted to doing good. And for these reasons you received the blade. Now bear it. And I trust this time you shall not lose it.
Just wonderful. Camp's abandoned, but a lot of this damage is recent. Guess I arrived just a little too late. Should look around still. Signs of a fight. Paw prints, beastly ones, that's clear. Just on this spot, though. Aerial attack. Must have been. Man, bled to death. Big beast inflicted these wounds. Clear from the claw marks. Must have a toothy smile, too, judging by what ripped his throat open. Draconid. Gotta be. Maybe a basilisk? Except these prints don't belong to any variety I know. Just a little different. Area's dangerous. I'd say there's a basilisk nesting around here. It'd be wise to remain at some distance.
Yes, I'm familiar with the matter, and quite proud to say a basilisk does nest here. I look after it personally.
Look after it? It's not exactly a pet. Beast's murdering folk who come through here.
Just a minute. It does not murder those who do not trespass upon its territory.
You post those warnings?
Indeed, to prevent anyone from coming to any harm.
Well, a lot of good they did. Got a freshly mangled corpse right here.
Most likely a merchant, the poor bloke. Just today, I learned 2 traders had chosen this route despite the signs. I came as quick as I could to warn them. Too late, alas. I've instructed my servants. They shall take the body, return it to the family with a generous sum as recompense.
Pay the victim victim's family's compensation? Why?
These lands have been my family's for decades, granted to us by Duchess Ademarta. Beyond them, the basilisk ventures not, hunts not, it does not kill or destroy, provided it is not provoked. Yet if it does destroy, if it kills, I compensate all for their loss, from my own coffers.
Coffers. Got a store of sons and husbands in there to compensate for those shredded by your beast?
Naturally, I cannot revive the dead, but I do make generous restitution to their loved ones. Just last summer, I paid a leather tooler's widow 800 crowns, this unfortunate merchant's family, to be duly indemnified as well.
Claim this to be the last surviving basilisk? How do you figure?
The last of this subspecies. Their population was much larger at one time, see? Before the beech forests were felled.
Mean to suggest a direct correlation between beechwood forest density and basilisk populations?
Indirect, I prefer to contend. Beechwood forests are the chief habitat of roe deer, you see. In turn, a staple of the basilisk diet. When roe deer grew scarce, basilisks made humans their staple food. Enter the witchers. And thus, we've come to this one last specimen. It's a female. As recently as last year, we still had 2. But Jocast's mate passed on, alas.
Jocast?
Should she not have a name? My father dubbed her in honor of my dear departed mother. Jocast was brooding then. 2 eggs. That she cast from her nest, alas, when the male perished.
Who exactly are you? And how'd you develop such an interest in the beast?
Count Borges, happy to be of service. As to the beast, well, this subspecies is our dynastic symbol. The Disalfareses have for centuries signed with the Regulus Platinum. As family legend has it, a female of the species rescued an ancestor, a boy at the time, from a burning building. She took the tyke back to her nest, where she fed him as if he were one of her own youngsters.
Malarkey.
To be sure, but beautiful malarkey it is.
Where's the basilisk nesting? Any idea?
Of course I've an idea, but you don't really expect me to tell you. Those are not toy swords. I know your intentions.
Find it myself then. Easy to track with its distinct paw prints. Mentioned 2 merchants, so I might also look for the other corpse. Busted barrels. Contents spilled all over. Must have been tannin in there. Used to treat leather. Beast smashed the barrels. That's how the scent got on the scale.
Your Coco is so very curious. Strong scents especially intrigue her. The barrels, they must have drawn her in. Drawn her to the caravan.
Busted barrels slimed with venom. Hallmarks of an attack. Basilisk must have caught the second victim here. Anyway, got 2 scents. Venom and tannin. Ought to be enough to track the beast.
Why track her at all? Your caste is protected. Her death would forever destabilize the ecosystem. Who knows what would happen? I see unforeseeable consequences down the line. Simply refrain from provoking her. Harm her not, and she too will leave you untouched. I've long suspected they do it on purpose. Scent their goods. They seek to lure the basilisk to destroy their wares. It allows them to demand compensation from their assurers.
Basilisk scales are usually thicker, not nearly so fine. Could be more sensitive to fire, this one.
Alas, it is true. Your caste has a terrible fear of fire. She's a highly sensitive creature. Rid your mind of any thought to kill her. You would destroy the last of a species.
Strange. These burn marks. Beast's venom make them? Subspecies must be highly toxic.
It is so indeed. A wound from a sterling basilisk festers long.
Need to brew a potion that'll neutralize that. Odors dispersed. Seems to be everywhere. Basilisk must be high in the sky. Bloodstains. Clear as day. Sense perceptible again. Just as I expected. Second victim, but relatively unscathed. Basilisk must have been dragging him back to its nest for later. Dropped him for some reason. Wonder why. Hear something, but it's no basilisk screech. Human voices.
It's not about to roost at its nest with warriors on the... Yamo, Harry, prepare the equipment. Beast wandered off somewheres. We got to lure it back. And who might you be?
Funny. About to ask you the same.
They call us the Reavers.
Reavers? Wouldn't happen to hail from Grinfrid, would you?
Aye, we do. But how's it you know? And again, who the hell are you?
Geralt of Rivia. I'm a witcher. Know your brethren in arms. Bohold, Kennet and Desperate, new boy too.
Ah, you're that witcher. Aye, Bohold mentioned you. Said you swing a mean sword.
A professional. Good you came along. Could take on the brute together. Talk is the venom's something horrifying. Could use another pair of hands. Fee what we've gotten from the guild. We'll share it fair and square. You in?
Gentlemen, this hurts my ears and pains my heart. You aim to kill your caste? It cannot be. The creature is protected. If you fear to lose the guild's reward, I shall repay it, and reward you doubly to leave the beast be. You cannot slay the last living specimen of a near-extinct subspecies.
Willing to pay, are you? Long as we do nothing? That's rather novel. What say you to that, master? Far as I know, beasts culled the human race by 5 already.
Basilisk lives for now. We're not gonna kill it.
A witcher defending a beast. Ever seen that, lads? You like them peaches?
Ah, no scrapping with filth today, it seems. But, you made some mention of coin, as I recall.
I did indeed. And the word once given...
Your share, Witcher.
Easiest job I've ever done. Godspeed, Witcher. Strange working with you. Strange, but nice.
Godspeed, boys.
You spared your caste. I thank you. And be assured, I'll take great care she not dine on any other souls.
Gotta try harder. Figure out a way to keep folk out of this area.
That I shall do. Master, you must accept more, be it a symbolic sum. Had you not come along, the Reefers would surely have slain my Yokast.
Thanks.
Yokast has flown her nest.
Must have sensed a threat. Likely to return eventually, though.
She'll return. Always does. I suspect I might even know where she's gone. I tracked her away and believe she might have found a new mate. It's an ordinary basilisk, not a silvery one. But something might come of it. Who knows? Your caste could lay new eggs. Perhaps produce an entirely new crossbreed.
Sure hope not. Take care. Yeah? What is it?
Now, why does one summon a witcher, To inquire about the gossip currently flowing about the court? I've a problem with a beast.
Right, all ears then. Tell me about the monster.
First, my dear Witcher, we must establish ground rules. Given the vast difference in our respective social positions, I'm sorry to say I take umbrage at the familiar tone you take. I expect deference. I expect you to address me as Sir, or better yet, as Monsieur de Bourbeau.
Fine. Monsieur de Bourbeau.
The emphasis falls on the last syllable. Bourbeau?
See, now I'd rather emphasize something else. Tell me what this is about, monsieur, or I'll change my mind and go.
Naughtlings and their manners. Very well. Let us get this over with. Something has infested my vineyard.
Great. Let me go prepare my something oil then.
I beg your pardon?
Need more information than that. Where was this something seen? Any witnesses? Bodies to examine?
Therein lies the rub. None has seen the beast. We've only heard signs of its presence, a strange scratching and shrieks. Neither are there any corpses to inspect. Men simply disappear without a trace.
Noises you mentioned. Where do they come from?
Well, everywhere. But they're most clearly audible in the wine cellar.
Means the monster must dwell underground. When are the noises loudest?
In the night, just as they were years ago, when the buildings quaked. Another expert agreed to look into the matter then, but was never thereafter seen nor heard of.
Who's disappeared, if you don't mind my asking?
Most recently some farmhand, I believe.
Despite the vast difference in your social statuses, do you perchance remember the farmhand's name, monsieur?
No. You must speak to my wife. She has more collegial relations with this household help. She's away at the moment visiting her mother, but should return forthwith. Oh, that should suffice with the questions. Now tell me, will you take the contract? Yea or nay?
Fine, I'll do it. Need to look around here first. Then I'll want to talk to Madame de Bourbeau.
Very well. I shall inform you once she has returned. Meanwhile, the key to the cellar. Just... whatever you do, please do not disturb the wine barrels.
Where does...
Long live Duchessa Anna Henrietta.
All right, let's look around. Shattered dishes. Got knocked off the shelf somehow. Shaken off, maybe? Rats. Not known to kidnap farmhands. A tunnel? A bit more light could be useful. Doors? Not good. Should be able to break through. Damn it, it's getting away. It's getting more interesting by the minute. Damn it, Young could hatch any minute. No kicking more dug this. Tunnels are the work of something much bigger. Something with heavy, wide claws. Cracked Kikimore eggs. Something's been feeding on them. Water coursing. Underground stream. Monster I'm looking for lives underground, digs tunnels, feeds on Kikimores, and is big. Very big. Won't learn anything else here. Time to go back to the surface.
Sacre bleu!
What is the meaning of this? I'm paying you to slay a monster, not demolish my property.
Property's falling apart on its own, what with all the tunnels under it. I'd fill those in soon if you don't want your building to collapse.
Tunnels? Fiddle my thumb, how did tunnels appear down there?
Something dug 'em. A large creature. Also killed a few kikimores down there and destroyed their eggs. Consider it a half-favor. Won't cost you much.
Kikimore eggs. Yes, of course, good work. Indeed, a reward is due.
Madame de Bourbeau, I presume? Hear you know something about the missing farmhand.
Jean-Luc? Yes. We went to examine this year's seedlings. Something had been nibbling at them. Then we heard these odd noises. Jean-Luc went to reconnoiter and never returned.
Where'd you last see Jean-Luc, madame? Exactly.
In the fields, north of here, by the wood.
New seedlings there? I was under the distinct impression we had planted them all on the south slope.
Almost all, my dear. I requested that some be planted to the north, by the grove. Just the remainders.
Madame, could you describe Jean-Luc?
Tall, exceedingly well built, hair black as pitch.
Dear, concentrate. There is not a peasant that is not well built. They work in the fields all day. He means scars, birthmarks, that sort of thing.
Then none, I suppose. But he did wear a pendant around his neck. A silver one.
Silver jewelry on a farmhand?
It was a gift, I believe. Or that is what he claimed.
Should be enough to go on.
Then what are you fritting round here for? Get to work!
Bread's really stale. Been here a while. Blanket was laid out here. Good vintage. Must have been a special occasion. Someone had a picnic, footprints, or something. 2 sets. And gnawed on. Not good. Something walked through here. Big bastard with a heavy tail. Felled trees. As if something rolled over them. So is Shaelmar. Only they dig tunnels and move like that. Trail leads to that cave. Claw marks. Straight, dull, perfect for digging. Whoa, Shaelmar's close. Shaelmar droppings. Rubs that feed on them are a delicacy to giant centipedes. Shaelmar's lair, gotta be. Drags its victims here. Pretty fresh, some of them. Gonna have to brew some bait. Need the blood of a recent victim and some of the mushrooms that grow here. Highly decayed, partly eaten. Been lying here a while. Fresh corpse. Must be Jean-Luc. Crushed ribs, cracked skull. Shaelmar did this. No 2 ways about it. Silver pendant. A lock of hair inside. Same color as Madame de Bourbeau's. Gotta spill it within the lair. Somewhere near an air current, so the scent spreads throughout the cave. Ugh, that stench. Shaelmar will be here any minute. Show me your claws. Chop off its head and go get my reward.
The wall. Fix it by the end of the day.
Monsieur de Bourbeau? Can we talk?
You'd best be bearing good news. Get on with it.
This Jean-Luc, he did have a silver pendant. Kept a lock of Madame de Bourbeau's hair in it, matter of fact.
But how could she? To be unfaithful to me? A lord and heir with a plow-spawned peasant? Oh, she shall pay for this.
Don't doubt that. But mind paying me first? For services beyond the scope of the contract?
There. It'll come out of her dowry.
Got rid of the beast that was giving you trouble. It was a Shelmar.
Shelmar? Whatever could that be?
Kinda like a cross between a mole and a caterpillar. Just big as a barn.
Huh? Well, Master Witcher, you make a poor first impression, but ultimately proved your worth. There. Your reward. Now, forgive me. I must speak to my wife.
Snow White!
Name's Geralt. What can I do for you?
That hair! The scar! The frown! It's all perfect.
Something you actually want from me? Or are you just gonna go on gushing about my attributes?
I admire, good sir. Admire and desire. Such a threat in the eyes. Oh, so manly.
If you're trying to get me to meet with you some evening, afraid you're just wasting your time.
An evening? Impossible. I shall require the soft light of mid-afternoon for this portrait.
Portrait?
Indeed. Yours. En face. Actual size. With the finest Vista Toussaint affords behind you. Pose for me. You must. Naturally, I shall pay the compensation due to you for your modeling services.
Don't see why not. Long as it doesn't take long.
It shan't. Never worry. We've but a short distance to journey into the hills outside of town. A perfect landscape perfectly to frame your perfect physiognomy.
Let's go then.
I need only fetch my easel and palettes from my studio. We shall meet at noon at the western gate, near the palace. From where we'll venture forth together.
I'm here.
Let us go! We should arrive in time to have the best light of the day. The chiaroscuro we shall capture. Just glorious.
Beware. Let's go. The things I do for art.
We had best ride there. We'll arrive faster and less fatigued. A work of mine, Turtle Dove o'er the Heath, hangs in the ducal palace.
So does a cockatrice I cut down once. It's stuffed, maybe even with heather.
I once had a cockatrice feather brush. Best thing for laying down tempera. I no longer have it, sadly. My blasted cat swiped it.
Why would a cat want a brush?
To paint with, of course. And it was no common brush. Fantastic, as I said, and fantastically expensive.
Hang on. Got a cat that paints?
Yeah, if you care to call it that. He merely copies the works of his betters, and poorly at that.
Your cat?
Yes. Pierre-Auguste Moustachois. It's no surprise you've not heard of him. He's a second-rate hack and a thief. Ladies, gentlemen, my lieges, forgive me for being forward, but have you perchance seen a set of paints and brushes nearby?
Eugenie, I believe this peasant wants something from us.
My paints, my brushes, I had prepared them. They were here.
We've not seen any journeyman's tools, my good man. Of that I assure you.
There a problem?
Yes, an immense one. I cannot possibly paint without my paints. I'm done for. Unless you would be kind enough to locate them?
Wouldn't happen to have another set with you? And, nothing you could use instead?
My word. Would you really have me scrawl with charcoal like an animal?
Damn it. Sure you left them here?
Yes, right there. I'd prepared everything. Set it out, ordered and organized.
Might have toppled downhill or something. Fine, I'll take a look around. Footprints. Clear, but curiously small. Got paint drops here, too. Another stain. Could very well be a lead. Knackers? Like they made off with the paints. Question is, why? Get ahead from my saddle. Paints. Don't look ruined. Painter should still be able to use them. Cave paintings. This here looks a bit like a necker. Big blobs, what? A troll? Neckers depicting their victory over some trolls? That even possible? Necker propaganda? Found your things.
Splendid. Where were they? And... is this all you found? I left so much more.
Should have kept it all with you, not left it lying around. Followed some paint tracks to a necker lair. Seems the beast's made off with your supplies. Used it to paint a fresco on one of the cave walls. Looked something like a battle scene to me.
Impossible. They splashed paint on the wall in a rage. Unimportant. In any case, it's a good thing you found the basic colors. Shall we? While waiting, I spied a superior spot.
Come on, Roach.
We have had fantastic luck with the weather. The light is perfect, absolutely perfect.
Painting this masterpiece gonna take long?
A mere 6 hours. The sun won't allow us to work any longer than that. Oh, but the time will fly by. We'll chat, swap tales.
Better yet, let me down a potion. Time will definitely fly by in a state of lethargy. No need to swap tales.
No. Your expression, your posture, they must be just so. You must look alive with fire in your gaze. Lethargy is out of the question.
Come on, give it some thought. You could title the painting, A Witcher Lying Senselessly on the Heath.
You jest. A jesting witcher.
this the place?
Yes. Just look at the view. Breathtaking. The perfect background for our masterpiece.
Pretty, I guess.
Now, you must carefully consider in what pose you wish to be immortalized.
All right. Considering.
All is ready. We may begin. Have you decided on the pose you'd like to adopt?
Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course! The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at the... well, that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Let me try something else. How about I be on horseback? I mean, Roach kind of deserves to be immortalized too.
Oh, yes. A horse. Exceptional idea. But I would rather you perch atop Alexander, my mount. I've trained him to pose. I shall paint in the carcass of a slain griffin later. Now, raise your head to exude pride. Thrust your breast forward. Go on, breast forward. I want to see those hocks extended. Ahem. Is the horse paying attention? May I begin? Or would you rather try a different pose?
Let me try something else. Think I'll lie down. At least that way I can nap while you work.
The hero at rest, lying on his side, propped up on an elbow, staring into the distance, relishing a victory. I can paint in a griffin corpse later. Though, naturally, a nap is out of the question. We resolved that earlier. May I begin? Or would you prefer to strike a more dynamic pose?
Let me try something else. Maybe I could just stand, sword in hand.
Ah, splendid! A heroic pose, of course! The bold warrior, his sword held aloft, ready to run at the... well, that willow over there. I will paint in a griffin later. Shall I begin? Or would you prefer to adopt another pose?
Go ahead.
Now, be so kind as to adopt that look you gave me when I first asked you to work with me. That intense scowl of an angry wild ram about to butt heads. Yes, excellent. Now, hold that. Do not budge.
This gonna take much longer?
Not much at all. We'll run out of daylight soon. Please, keep your head still, in the same position.
Fine, I'll try. I'll also try to remember to never trust a painter again.
Griffin!
Yeah, I know. You'll paint one in later.
Gods! A griffin!
Run and hide.
Dearest Mummy! Is it safe?
Yeah, come on out. And no wonder no one ever came here. It was a griffin's hunting ground.
Oh, that thing scared me to death!
Not quite to death. You are alive. Not least because you chose a witcher to sit for you. How's the painting? It survived too?
It did. But I cannot show it to you now. I never display unfinished work. You can see it tomorrow, after midday, where we met. I shall display it in the market square. Oof, monstrous beast. Shall we immortalize it in the painting?
Yeah, let's add it. Carcass can serve as your prop.
Splendid! Interesting color palette. And the textures, and the proportions. It will do. Yes, it will do. But I shall paint it in later, in my atelier. There's an excellent illustration in the Encyclopedia Maxima Mundi. I fear this specimen is, well, too far cut and chopped. Ah, very well. That will do for now. I shall polish the details later. No point struggling on in this fading light. I almost forgot. Payment for your troubles. And I thank you for saving my life. Though, in doing so, you did also save your likeness. For posterity.
Those muscles.
Greetings.
Geralt! There you are. So, our painting. Are you pleased? Is it to your liking? Do tell.
It's nice. Shows a lot of, imagination. Don't recall undressing before posing, though. Some of the other details are a bit off, too.
Well, the imagination is an artist's chief tool.
Heard the same from a certain poet. He embellishes and invents, chiefly.
Perhaps you'd care to buy the painting. Given our rapport, I shall take a loss. For you, I'll part with it, I will, at a special price.
Why not? It'll make an interesting memento. Though I'd hardly call the price a bargain.
Indeed. Few have the sophistication to appreciate my technique. I sometimes go hungry as a consequence.
All right. At least this way I'll be able to control who sees it. Thanks.